Okay, new post. So I'm gonna show you what I do to create a blog post. I've already gone ahead and written it out in another document. So this is my my title. So I'm gonna copy that, bring it over here, post, and then I'm gonna come over here. I already did this once, but I forgot I was going to film a video showing you how I do this. Okay. And then there's a bunch of, so now I'm going to go ahead and spell check it. As you can see, I use Grammarly. I'm dyslexic, so Grammarly goes ahead and spell checks this for me. So in the article, I'm going to highlight this, asking for one. You discovered you don't get paid for the hours you work. You get paid based upon the amount of value you provide your boss in those hours, not houses, in those hours. Because what happens is if you don't provide enough value, you get written up or get fired because your boss is paying you more than the amount of value you agreed upon when you took the job. Now there's a lot of talk about the working poor who are people I doubled that may be working 2 or 3 jobs. However, the people who are working these jobs are in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, working alongside 16 and 17-year-old kids. Alongside 16 and 17-year-old kids. When a 2-year-old is drinking from a bottle, we don't think anything is wrong with that. However, if that same child is drinking from a bottle at 8 or 18, we would wonder what's wrong with that kid. After high school, many people go to college or some sort of training program to improve their skills. So they can get a better job. However, those working poor have the same jobs they had when they were in high school, but yet they complain that since the company has so much money, they deserve to be paid more, because if they pay you more than the amount of value, high school or college or some sort of training program to improve their skills so they can get a better job. However, these working poor have the same type of jobs they had when they were in high school, but yet they complain since the company has so much money, they deserve to be paid more. However, if you pay them more than the amount of value they provide, and if they do this with enough people, eventually they will be out of business. The Studebaker car company faced this back in the 1960s. faced this back in the 1960s. Studebaker faced this in the 1960s. The Studebaker started off building covered wagons for pioneers, for the pioneers of the Old West, and transitioned to an automobile company. However, because of the unions, the workers were getting paid more than the company was making, and thus were put out of business. You can get any job you want. You just have to become the right person for the job. When I was 17, I decided I wanted to become a Disney animator. And so the next time, I went to Disney World for vacation, I went on the Disney animation tour and asked the tour guide what I needed to do to become a Disney animator. They set up a meeting with me later, and on my trip I had an appointment with a specialist who could advise me what they needed from me. I ended up not getting the job. As many of you know, I have had to deal with dyslexia. However, if I would have stayed on that path and going to the art school they recommended me to go to, my life would be in a very different place than it is today. In high school, I dreamed what they would. In high school, people dream what they would do and be in life. However, after they get into the real world, get married, have a couple of kids, they forget about their dreams they had, and so find it hard to make a decision what they want to do. People find it easier to tell me they don't. People find it easier to tell me what they don't want instead of what they want. Find a company you would like to work for, and even if it is a stepping stone to your next job, find something that you want to do. If you are local to a company, go visit the company and ask them what they need from you in order to get a job from them. If they are not local to you, find them online and cold call them and ask them the same question. At the time, you may not qualify for the position, so instead of coming home each night and watching 6 hours of TV like the average American does, spend this time reading books, doing research, upping your skills so you can qualify for this position. Even if you are working 2 to 3 jobs, you have break time and you have time to listen to audiobooks, or listening to videos on your way to work. In another article in this series, one job I had making minimum wage. On my way to work, I was listening to a book called how to win friends and influence people, and which I put into practice what I had just learned, and was promoted to manager of the department, the entire department, within my first 10 days on the job. Later in this series, if you are currently employed, I will show you how to provide so much value. I will show you how I provided my boss so much value that I did $14,100 in just 1 hour's worth of work. Be sure to download your workbook and action plans and move on to the next module. Okay. Now, until Paul can properly, who is my editor. So I have this document here of all the tools I need for my blogs. So I go to the HTML code by clicking tab, and I click that. And then I'll just come over here, copy that. Okay. Then this goes at the bottom of my blog. And it's still finding mistakes that I missed. Okay. And so here's the disclaimer, letting people know that if there is spelling mistakes, I have dyslexia, and so until my editor can fix it, deal with it. Okay. Then I'm going to go find some pictures. So let's go with Disney Animator. Try. Animation board. There it is. So I drop that on my desktop. Animation is the only thing that I do not like technology. It's a lost art.
You say a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's worth 1,000,000. Majestic Heli Ski is an experience, and that's where YouTube comes in. We get about 40 to 50% of our new first-time heli skiers from YouTube.
Okay, now we're going live, so we're publishing it. And since I'm filming this, it's going slower on everything. And I do know I have to clean some stuff out of the computer. Okay. Scroll down, view post. Oops. So this is a Google ad. I'll put that right there. And I'll put one of the ads for my partners. Right here. I have to publish it again just to see how it places. See if I can put another ad. Question. I've got enough room for one more. So the only thing I didn't do here is record the audio for it. So this blog post is live online. We've done that in 30 minutes. And there's the blog. The Google ads are still generating, which there'll be a Google ad right here. It could even put another one right there, but I'll leave it as is. So again, we created a blog in about 30 minutes.